test 3 different bread makers. The objective is to see if the Breville at $250 is really worth the price tag compared to the Hamilton Beach at $60 or the Cuisinart at $100. So today we're just doing a very standard white bread. We're testing the crustiness, the color, the crumb, and then flavor. So why bread maker? Why do you need a bread maker in your kitchen? Quite honestly, it's very, very easy to do. Maybe it's a little bit scary for you to like make bread at home, but with this machine, you'll be able to do it anytime you want. You know, some of these you can program it to literally get white bread as soon as you wake up. Okay, starting with the Hamilton Beach, super easy. All of these machines work the same way. You just put in all the ingredients in the container in the order that it's listed. Water, salt, sugar, butter, and then flour. And this guy is using bread machine yeast. I mean, how easy was that? That's it. And then you just place it in here, turn it on. So we'll do the Cuisinart. It's interesting. They are all shaped a little bit differently. All right, so for the Cuisinart, we got water. Then it says butter next. Sugar, salt, flour. All right, some dry milk, then instant yeast. Okay, so that's that. And then the Breville, and notice again, the shape is different. Water, butter, salt, sugar, flour, milk powder, active yeast. So each recipe is slightly different. All right, so all of our mixtures are inside the container. And you just have to make sure you have it locked in place. My mixture is in. There's 3 different settings. The first one is cycle, and that just means you're choosing the setting of which bread you're baking. And in this case, we're just doing the basic white. Okay, and then the crust, you can do light, medium, dark. In this case, we're just gonna go straight medium. And then the loaf size at 2 pounds, because this is what the white bread recipe calls for. And then you just press start. And that's it. Literally, that's it. So the Cuisinart works very similarly. We're on setting 1 for the white bread, 2-pound loaf, and the color, we'll have it at medium. So same idea, press start, and that's it. Okay, and last but not least, our Breville, lock it in. Basic white, we're gonna select our crust at medium, our size at 2 pounds, and then you press start. All of our machines are on. All of these take around 3 to 3.5 hours, and that's it, you just sit and wait. After these are done, we're gonna do a little taste test. And since you guys are such skeptics, I brought in someone really special today to taste these with me. The mastermind of bread making, the legendary Chef Sim Cass, and we're gonna do a blind taste test to see which machine is really worth the price tag. It's been 3.5 hours, my bread is done. Time for the big reveal. Starting with our Hamilton Beach, you do have to twist and then pull out. So I'm just gonna flip it over, see how nicely, okay, that was pretty good. Bread number 1 from our Cuisinart. There's number 2. Number 3. So I'm gonna let these cool, and I'm gonna set up a blind taste test for a special guest. So now, taste test. As promised, Chef Sim Cass. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
So what's your feeling about bread machines?
Bread machines, I like to think of as a gateway to actually making bread in your own home.
So you're not totally against it?
I'm not totally against them. I still think it's a good thing to make bread at home, however you get there. But let's see, I've decided to be open-minded about this.
Okay, good. Have you ever used an instant bread machine before?
No, but I have watched someone use one.
So we're gonna do a blind taste test to see what makes the best product. What are we looking for when we are tasting like really good bread?
Number 1, crispy. The other thing we're looking for is the most even crumb, a hollow sound here.
Hollow sound.
Also, a good loaf of bread should have a lot of colour to it. It means you're getting caramelisation and you're getting more flavour.
Got it.
A, it's darker, you should be able to hear an audible crack.
Oh, do we hear any?
No crack. Hollowish. Number B. Not as much colour to it. No crack. Hollowish. Hollowish. Final one is C. You know, that's the darkest one there, but I would always lean towards the darkest one. There's a tiny bit of crunchy bit here on this corner. This is the most hollowish.
Oh, this is the most, okay.
Yeah, this one here.
So far, we love C.
I'm leaning towards C, look-wise. Let's just taste these bad boys.
Yeah, let's do it. You
Let's
choose.
go straight through. I'm going to start with A.
How do you feel about that, too?
Already, we're going to open it up.
I mean, that looks pretty good to me.
This looks like a panda me or like an enriched loaf. At the bottom, the holes are very small. You feel that? See how that's sort of condensed, isn't it? There,
Yep,
look.
yep.
And then go up here.
Bigger
See
holes
up here?
up
This
here.
is more what you want, right? The reason why it's got all the holes very, very close together is because it's been used with instant yeast, okay? So that's the characteristic of a bread machine.
Okay.
Always will be. But all I'm going to say is it looks to me like we've had more rise up here and not as much rise down there.
Got it. So a little bit of unevenness.
We're going to cut it the same way on B here.
And that being said, does shape really concern you right now?
I'm
with
worried
the
about
three?
this. This is usually a sign of over-proving. When the top is domed, the gluten has held the structure. When it falls, it usually means that you've overproofed it a little bit too much. But let's go for this one. Why not? Let's have a look.
Okay.
And this one, I actually like this crumb a little bit better than this one. But once again, look at this. About a third down, is very tight. And actually, I can feel sort of an uneven lumpiness to it. Not necessarily bad. All right, so the final one is number C. This feels more like I got it from the supermarket, okay, all right? Not being derogatory, just I got it from the supermarket.
So what do you
So
think?
once again, this one also has at the bottom, so there's maybe an inch not well developed to the bottom, and maybe this is a characteristic of bread machines, that it doesn't really work as well at the bottom. But this one is the most even, absolutely, with its crumb.
It looks really nice. So what do you think? I mean, honest opinion.
I'm actually learning something, and you know, I'm realizing that bread machines, they have this thing where they don't knead the bread as efficiently as maybe they should do.
Honestly, chef, come to think, I remember watching the bread knead as the machines were going, and the bottom, the flour was still like stuck.
Oh, that's probably this bit here. Anyway, this has got the most even crumb, and it's the softest all the way across. This, I actually like this crumb, but it's the most uneven.
Yeah.
This one has an acceptable crumb and quite a nice sort of airy thing.
Okay, so let's taste it.
Yeah. This will be another part of our testing. Does it slice like the classic, you know, slice of bread? And it does. I'm going to taste the one bit of the crust on it.
Right? Tell me, talk to me, chef.
Okay, it's acceptable. We call this an enriched loaf in the bakery, and it's fine. It's a sandwich bread.
I think it's really like weird texture, and it's kind of like chalky in your mouth. Yeah, it's not bad though. It's bread.
Let's go for this one. Does it slice? You're still skeptical, right?
Yeah. Well, that kind of like looks like it tastes
You know,
better.
I like this one better than that one. I have to have a bit with the crust on it. It's
Yeah.
important.
I'm not sure. It tastes different.
I don't think it's a bad flavour, and I think it's, once again, it tastes very generic is the word.
Okay, generic.
Okay. All right, here we go. We're going to go for this one
Okay,
now?
C. I'm most excited about this one.
You are? You know, I've got to give an A to all the slicing. I think that's the one thing that's been really
Wow,
good.
this slices really well.
If you had like a family of 7 and you made everybody's sandwich to take to work with them or school with them, any one of these
Yeah.
breads with some lettuce and some tomato and some
They
mayonnaise,
probably wouldn't
they'd be
even know.
fine. They wouldn't complain. They'd be like, thanks. If you're lucky, they'd be thanks. Okay, here.
All right.
Ready? It's like a cloud, isn't it? A cloud of neutrality.
Yeah.
Wow, it's hard now.
It's hard. It's very like, okay, they're all so different in flavor. Similar ingredients in all 3 of them.
I think that's got the most flavour, that one there, number B. And I wonder if with a little bit of maybe scraping the dough down, you could get a better loaf of bread out of this one. This is number 1. This one looks the best, cuts the best, has an okay flavour.
The Breville for $250.
250 buckaroonies.
It is
Hey,
the
you
best
know what?
loaf.
You know what? The truth of the matter is, you get what you pay for sometimes in life. And this is the best one. A is second.
Hamilton Beach
60 bucks.
for 60 bucks.
Wow. This one's totally acceptable. I don't have a problem with this one. I'm okay with this one. B is third because people like appearances. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
I think that's important because people eat with their eyes. Like if someone bought machine B and they got this product out of it, I think someone would be like really mad, right? It's the Cuisinart for $100.
$100.
That's kind of expensive. A little bit for this bread. I mean,
You know, I've got to be honest with you, I'm definitely thrifty. You know, I'd probably go, I'm buying the cheap one, okay, because I don't think the difference is big enough to justify the $250. I would buy the $60 one, yeah, and then I would work with it and I'd try different versions very slightly. I just want to point out, if you just want to put the stuff into the bowl, come back later and get your loaf of bread, this is the way to go. Yes, justified. If you want to experiment with a bread machine and you've never experimented before with one, then by all means buy the least expensive one and work with it.
Chef, I just want to thank you, Chef Sim Cass, the Dean of Bread Making from ICE, Institute of Culinary Education. Chef, I'm going to come visit you and really learn all the details.
Please
of
do.
bread
Please
making.
do.
I would love to.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I
Hug.
enjoyed
We're
that.
going to hug it out.
There it is.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you.
Today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, American Express, with the Pay It Planet feature, giving you choices for how to make payments big or small. Back to the Kitchen Gadget Show. So we're here to test 3 different bread makers. The objective is to see if the Breville at $250 is really worth the price tag compared to the Hamilton Beach at $60 or the Cuisinart at $100. So today we're just doing a very standard white bread. We're testing the crustiness, the color, the crumb, and then flavor. So why bread maker? Why do you need a bread maker in your kitchen? Quite honestly, it's very, very easy to do. Maybe it's a little bit scary for you to like make bread at home, but with this machine, you'll be able to do it anytime you want. You know, some of these you can program it to literally get white bread as soon as you wake up. Okay, starting with the Hamilton Beach, super easy. All of these machines work the same way. You just put in all the ingredients in the container in the order that it's listed. Water, salt, sugar, butter, and then flour. And this guy is using bread machine yeast. I mean, how easy was that? That's it. And then you just place it in here, turn it on. So we'll do the Cuisinart.